So starting the test drive in this CR-V, like how easy these are to drive. They're relatively quick, and then they also have very good fuel economy. But just having this in the econ mode, it's keeping up with traffic pretty well. I like the steering feel, and it's just very quiet in the cabin so far. Now, in this stop and go traffic, the econ mode, it is easier, I feel, to maneuver. And I think Honda's econ modes are just that good in the sense that when you're driving in traffic, you're not trying to go anywhere fast. You're not trying to, bust a move here or there. The econ mode is perfect to just keep up with the flow of traffic. Now, of course, you can put the shifter in the sport mode, put the drive mode in a normal, and you'll have quite a bit of pickup there, but just how I'm driving now, the econ's absolutely perfect. But I'll go ahead and put it into the normal mode now, and I definitely feel it get a bit peppier. And then when I put in the sport mode, the transmission revs just a bit hotter there. But all in all, I mean, what makes these such good vehicles, I think, is the fact that they're so simple to operate. You get behind the wheel of one of these, you don't feel like you're having to relearn your car. And even though it has a turbo 4, it drives like the older 2.4 4-cylinders in the CR-Vs that have the traditional transmission. I think that says a lot about Honda, just in how they want to keep their vehicles the same even as they change. Because a lot of CR-V buyers that have older CR-Vs love their CR-V so much they want to get a newer one. And you want to make sure that you're keeping the reliability up while also keeping the overall drivability as simple as possible, and they did a pretty good job with that. Now, the overall pickup again in the normal is very impressive. And you don't have to rev the engine as hot as you would expect either. But the steering dynamics are pretty good, not too loose, not too tight. And then the brake pedal feel goes pretty well with the car itself. When you put your foot on the brake, you get a very small, I don't even want to call it an initial bite. It's like a slow lowering, or I guess a slow clenching of the teeth, which I like. So it doesn't scare you when you hit the brake. We're gonna put it into sport now, coming out of this corner. And yeah, it wants to go when you do that. But not something that I would use every day with this vehicle, just for what it is. But if you want to, you can. But especially with it being newer, I don't want to necessarily rev it up too high, so I'm going to put it back into the normal drive mode for the rest of the test drive. Now, in terms of what you get for the money, I think you do get quite a bit in this EXL trim. But we're going to go ahead and give it some throttle getting on the interstate here. Just a tad. Here we go. So pretty linear power curve there, and I appreciate that. We're just gonna test out the adaptive cruise and lane centering for a second before I get off of this exit. But I wanna give one more thank you to Daryl Waltrip Honda for allowing me to borrow the CR-V for the review. I'll leave a link below in the description if you're interested in this vehicle and you're in the area. If you're not in our area, go ahead and click the link down below for new car quotes, and I'll go ahead and start the process getting your local dealers fighting to give you that best price. But I think the CR-V is still pretty solid. Drivability is good. Overall maneuverability is good. Space in here is fantastic for this kind of SUV. It really does give the Nissan Rogue a run for its money. And no complaints here. So this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Honda CR-V in the EXL trim.